Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our ace match now between Newbee and HGT. Come on, June, good sir. I got you in my fantasy draft. Don't let me down, please. No more whiffed chronos, please, please. At least that's what Newbee fans are saying out there. Let's go ahead and get into this draft without any further delay. See what these teams are working on here. Between games, we're going to talk about Vulcan a little bit. I'll show you guys my draft, and you can feel my pain watching that faceless void jump in and not find the chrono that he's looking for. Here we are, though, Shadow Fiend, Earthshaker, the dubious duo once again, but this time it's Newbee that get to pick him up. So I think this series here so far, Shadow Fiend, 100% win rate. We'll see if it keeps up coming into game number 3. Could be a likely scenario. Remember, folks, after this as well, we will have IG versus Vici Gaming potential coming up. That is our second best-of-3 series today. Maybe a little more one-sided than this one. Time will tell, of course, but something that you can look forward to. We've got 2 best-of-3s today instead of just 1. Sniper, Treant, Protector. And now for HGT, the Hyper Glory team will grab Sniper first. No surprise there. A very early pickup on the Treant Protector. And this makes me wonder, does HGT have a trick up their sleeve? Do they have something in mind here? Are they thinking about maybe a Phoenix pick? We saw Treant grabbed early on in this series without a Phoenix, and just kind of a casual tree. Did not work out so well. That was game 1 when they fed that double kill first blood to Moo off a failed Leech Seed gank attempt. I don't know. I'm kind of curious what to make of that tree. Not sure what to think of it yet. Other things that you can pair nicely with him. I mean, he is just good in general team fight. A lot of options, but you can look for stuff like your Ancient Apparition to set up. Queen of Pain, another good hero that sets up well those kind of big AoE damage ults. She will be 4th banned here by Newbee, as well as Mr. Demon Witch, the Lion. And they settle on Clockwork and Faceless Void. If oh, man. Oh, trying to resist the urge to flame here.
Axe.
Shadow, oh my, okay. Void banned out. HGT banned him out. I would have been tempted to leave him in the pool, but they'll take him out here. So I'm curious what June is going to play this game. Let's just go ahead and pull up June's profile. Okay, well, on Dat Dota, King J is still on their official roster. That's definitely not right.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
What are the offlane options here? Axe will be the 3rd pick for HGT. All right, here we go. So June, she's been playing a bit of Wind Ranger. Bristleback, always an option. Bat Rider was 1st banned, as he has been in every game this series. Clockwork, Centaur. So, I don't know. Wind Ranger and I'd say Wind Ranger, Bristle, and Centaur are probably the top few that we may see June playing the offlane here. Looks like he has played Jug a time or two. That's kind of interesting. About 2 weeks ago, he played a Juggernaut. That is definitely a little bit different. But it is Lena, 3rd pick for now for Newbee, so they'll get this support duo. Very aggressive, huge amount of damage. You can set up from afar with the Fisher Stun, follow with the LSA. We saw this combo in the last game, and it is potent. Now Witch Doctor for the Hyper Glory team. Again, we've seen this face quite a bit. Pairs pretty well with the tree. Does give you some good sustainability. You've got your Poodoo Restoration. You've got your Living Armor and your Leech Seed. Some great team fight potential here. Death Ward does pair nicely with your Overgrowth. You've got Axe with his AoE Berserker's Call for pickoffs. A lot of team fight potential with this HGT draft. Huge physical damage. This is a Ghost Scepter game for Newbee if I've ever seen one.
5 seconds
remaining. They'll be able to sit back. They'll be able to turtle up very, very easily. A tough team to push high ground against. Death Ward, Overgrowth, Shrapnel, Axe just ready to initiate if you venture forward. This is some good high ground defense, I think, suffice it to say. So Newbee, what do they need here? Another core and their offlaner. They'll take the Phoenix this time. So they'll match fire with fire, and they will not hand over what could be a really good addition to that HGT team. I have a sneaky suspicion Axe will be their off laner. They'll put Sniper in the mid and then look for their core safe laner for ZSMJ. Storm Spirit has been banned out this game, so not sure what he's going to play. But a couple different ways they could do it. They could also safe lane the Sniper, off lane the Axe, and pick up a mid for air. They could safe lane the Axe and really get him some good farm priority. They could do a whole lot of different things here. This will be a tricky, tough ban for Newbee. So I do think the Phoenix pick is pretty good here. Block it out from the great synergy with the Treant. But now they're stuck with the Phoenix. And June, does he play Phoenix? Is there potential for this to be a support Phoenix and a core Lina? And I would say yes, there is. Let's go ahead and take a look. How often do Newbee play the Phoenix? Not very often. They've played it 3 times on this patch. So it is not a hero that they play that often.
Radiant team pick.
So flexibility on both sides. Could be the 4 with Lina in the mid lane as kind of your driver seat, maybe your Moo hero. With Rabbit taking a Shadow Fiend to the safe lane. Hard to say. Dro Ranger banned out again by HGT. All right. I mean, Dro wouldn't be bad here. I don't think she would be particularly good. I don't know that she's the go-to for Newbee, but a hero that HGT really don't like playing against. They banned it out 3 games in a row now with their 5th and final ban. Viper, the 5th ban for Newbee, just a good lane dominator. Not knowing exactly how these lanes will settle down. That's just covering your bases, eliminating someone that will certainly have a good laning stage and can wreak havoc in the mid game. Can never really question a Viper ban in a situation like this. HGT have 2 minutes of reserve time, though, so they can think about this one, and they won't have to think long. Lifestealer, the little dog, their final choice. Now, you don't see the Lifestealer so often these days, and for good reason. He has really, really fallen off. You've got a delivery vehicle there with the Axe, so he can blink in Berserker's Call. Lifestealer can pop out, do his big infest damage. You can jump into Mud Golems, do some cute stuff like that, but in general, he feels pretty weak right now. One of these carries that really needs a lot to come online. He'll spend a lot of time being quiet, and then even after that, still very kiteable. Not one of those carries that... it's just not the kind of meta where you can get up in someone's face that easily as a core Lifestealer and get all that damage off. Spectre will be the carry here for Newbee, so now some global initiation. Huge carry power on the Dire side with Shadow Fiend and Spectre. Although pretty good carry power on HGT, Axe, Sniper, and Lifestealer will all scale well into the late game. Witch Doctor and Tree can scale pretty nicely also. Overgrowth and Living Armor fall off a little bit towards that late game, but at least the Death Ward will be upgradable, and Pretty Hobble will have some decent presence heading towards the latter portion of this matchup. Interesting final picks. I definitely would not have predicted the Lifestealer, and a little surprised to see the Spectre come out here. Definitely good against the Sniper, no doubt about that, especially once you get towards the late game. You can just farm on one side of the map, haunt in, reality on top of the Sniper, and then all of a sudden Air's life gets a lot more difficult. Same with the Lifestealer. You can kind of wait for him to use that initial kit. If you can manage to save the haunt for after the Rage, that's when the Lifestealer gets a lot less potent. That's the biggest problem for him, I think. Rage is what allows him to not get kited around and do some big damage, get those auto attacks off. Well, it doesn't have the best uptime. 6 seconds active, 19-second cooldown. We could see a level 1 skirmish here, though. Newbee on the back foot. Song Sheng will start things off with a fissure. Now he gets a leech-seated boot first tree, coming in with the big branches. 85 last hit or auto attack damage on him. Will not find a kill. Light Strike Array off the mark, but does repel HGT for now. Looks like they want to get some wards down. What do they have? An Observer on the tree. Any sentries? Nope, Pretty Haunt just gets 1 ward down here, so some vision into the entryway. Are HGT thinking about an aggro try here? It looks like they might be. No, perhaps not. Okay. Second ward comes down. Dire will be getting some vision of this top rune here, as well as getting some intel into this entryway to help out their offlaner. Radiant still hanging on to their second observer for now, but will want to put it somewhere to get vision of the top rune, and it looks like this one will be it, but it gets scouted out by the Dire side. Knowing is half the battle. Moo certainly saw it come down, and it will most likely get counter-warded here. HGT, they may aggro try indeed. ZSMJ on the Life Stealer, Pretty Hall on the Witch Doctor, and Kaka here on the Treant Protector. That puts Air Mid on the Sniper, and Westbrook, he'll be solo safe lane on the Axe. So it is an aggro try after all. There'll be aggro try laning against Rabbit here on the Spectre. Banana on the Lina. Song Shung on the Earthshaker. Already finding this warding victory here. Goes to the low ground, and we'll just start punch, punch, punch. Get the little vision control here for the mid lane. That is great news for Moo. Makes his life a lot easier. And of course, we've got June, the offlaner. No Faceless Void this game. It's the Phoenix to be reborn from the ashes if things go awry. Will be a difficult lane against the Axe, at least not a melee hero. But will still struggle against the Battle Hunger spam. Should be able to leech decent XP, though, as creeps will shove into the tower. That is one of the drawbacks of the Axe. He'll get a lot of farm, but will, in turn, hand a lot over to the other side. One thing that will come out of this, though, is Westbrook should have a pretty well-timed Blink Dagger. Feel like there's a lot of pressure on this aggro try from HGT. It's kind of an awkward aggro try lane. You don't look at this on paper and go, oh yeah, aggro try with the Treant double melee. Let's do this thing. Witch Doctor is really good in these kind of try lane situations. And just the nature of the cask, the huge AoE of the Voodoo Restoration does make him pretty good. Ancient Apparition, Visage, other heroes that are really good in these kind of scenarios. But I feel like for HGT, they don't have a huge amount of kill potential here. Life Stealer doesn't really do big damage at these early levels. Neither does the Witch Doctor, even if you get the Maledicted. Certainly not the Tree. You've got Leech Seed if you drop your full rotation on someone. Maybe you can find a kill if they're a bit out of position, but Newbee have fantastic supports for this scenario. You've got Earthshaker, one of the best defensive supports to disengage. Even just one fissure can break up a fight enough to stop that chain of initiation and keep the Spectre safe. You've got Spectre, who has Spectral Dagger, one of the more elusive carries in this kind of a scenario. Sure, you can zone him out, maybe take some of his farm, but still shouldn't really be finding kills on Rabbit too easily. And then you've got Lina. You've got a stun there to help disengage, follow up on the fissure, and then you've got some kill potential. Dragon Slave to follow up. There is definitely opportunity for Newbee to find some counter kills if HGT aren't careful about how they initiate and take fights. Very defensive tri lane for this Dire side, which is a little counterintuitive to being an aggro tri lane here. So far, it's working out with ZSNJ getting the better of the farm, actually ahead of Rabbit by about 5 creep kills right now. So that is a good start. But they'll need a little bit more than this. Usually with aggro tries, if you just break even, it's not enough. You need to find some kind of a kill and get an edge for your carry. Aggro tries are about more than just securing farm for your what would be your safe lane or your position 1, but shutting down the safe lane farm of your opposition. So, oh my God. You know what? I was just looking at Moo's farm. They are completely shutting down Rabbit. Holy shit. All right, I strike that for the record. HGT, they're doing a great job so far. 3 last hits on Rabbit compared to the 18 of ZSMJ. Yeah, this is going great so far. But if they can punish Westbrook, that could tip the scales. He will have his Tranquil Boots on the way here. Phoenix 10-3 against the 17-3 Axe, so it is going pretty well for June. At the very least, he'll find level 6 in a timely manner, and I reckon he'll go hand to Midas. He's been doing it on the Faceless Void. Last 2 games in a row, and it's an even better item on the Phoenix. Just make that rush towards the level 3 Supernova. That's what your Hand of Midas is all about. Aggro try from HGT, starting to devolve a little bit. Kaka will rotate towards the mid lane, scouts out the rune, picks up a haste, or will at least put that big leafy body on top of it to try and keep it safe. Bottom rune does get bottled up by the Shadow Fiend. It is a bounty. Haste rune does give Kaka a little bit of kill potential here. At early point in Leech Seed, picks up a smoke. Walks right over this Observer Ward. And they know exactly what's going on here. Banana sees him, trying to find a Light Strike Array. Will actually connect. Fissure as well, but Kaka on the other side of it. Oh my, if he was blocked in, I think that's a kill and a potential first blood on the Treant. But at the very least, Newbee, don't fall victim to this haste rune that could have otherwise yielded a kill. Rabbit still getting absolutely nothing out of this lane. 28 last hits on the Life Stealer, 3 on the Spectre. I mean, it's a little early to look at net worth, but 2,300 versus the 1K in terms of net worth. This is already disastrous. And Spectre, not one of the best carries in terms of recovery farm. One thing that Spectre can do is farm in one lane and then haunt into another whenever a fight breaks out. But you still have to get that baseline of farm for that to really make a difference. You can pick up assists with Haunt, find freebie kills, and come in and just snipe the last hit. These are all recovery mechanisms, but this is a pretty big disparity. This isn't like, oh, yeah, you know, he's like 30% ahead. It's like 30 to 20 in last hits. No, this is, there's a factor of 10 that this Lifestealer is out farming this Spectre right now. So a tough life for Rabbit, I think, for sure. What's the plan here, Newbie? How do you start tipping the scales and get things back into your favor? Pretty Haw will almost get blocked out. Looks like that tree's already been eaten through, so there is a path that he'll be able to venture through. Now Sang Shung gets initiated on Rage. Open wounds to get things started. Cask will start bouncing around. First blood comes out. Pretty Haw on the Witch Doctor. The Doctor's in town. He's got some mojo, and he gets the first blood. It's just a kill on the Earthshaker, but ZSMJ, of course, getting an assist for that. Now has Phase Boots with an early Orb of Venom. My, oh my, is he scary. Newbie need to do something soon. I mean, look at this gold graph. We're 6 minutes in, only 1 kill, and it's already a 2,500 net worth lead and over 1,000 experience lead. That is not something you can scoff at. This is game 3. This is where it's all on the line, and Newbie seem very comfortable sitting back for now, even though things are a bit tricky. Tree will leech his level 3 off this, and we'll find it, actually. That should be your second point in living armor. As Moo rotates into the jungle, opens up a little bit of space for the rest of his team. The Earthshaker, who's still level 1, will be able to leech some solo XP mid, but needs to be careful here. Shrapnel from Air comes down. He will have 2 more Shrapnel charges. He is level 7. Of course, a point in Assassinate with actually maxed out Shrapnel. There is some kill potential onto this Earthshaker right now, but Era playing it very cautiously, knows that the Shadow Fiend could be nearby, and yeah, he pokes his head in and will push him back. Even this mid lane, not really going so well for Newbie. This Earthshaker's had to spend a lot of time in the top lane, and in a straight 1v1, Sniper does have a good advantage. Only level 1 Fissure, but now June rotates mid, wants to find some kills. Some Fire Spirits will connect. Does he die to the DOTs? No, living armor's there, and Sniper will live. With about 70 hit points instead, they turn it around onto Moo. It's Westbrook that TP's in, sets it up and finds the dunk. Now Sang Shung in some trouble. Not enough damage for another dunk, but Shrapnel from the Sniper is raining down. 42 HP is what the Earthshaker has, what the Fissure has, Jesus. Air still with the Assassinate on cooldown, won't be able to find a kill there. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Spectre, he gets 2 last hits and then is relegated back to the well because too much pressure befalls him. This is actually ridiculous. 3K net worth now, 2K experience, the lead for HGT, and it's just climbing. Absolute free farm now for this Lifestealer. 1,200 gold on him. He could still go back for a Hand of Midas. I mean, he's had this incredible start that even a Midas at this point would be fabulous. He could really accelerate his farm. A great item on Lifesteal in general, makes great use of that attack speed. I think it could be a smart pickup. Could also look for a fast armlet if he wants to kind of snowball out of control. Could also go into drums if he wants to go a little more safe and standard. A lot of options here for this Lifestealer. And your ideal way to itemize, I think, just continue your tempos. Even at S and Y, an early Sanjin Yasha on a Lifestealer with this kind of momentum can really be quite effective. Phoenix, way out farming the Spectre right now. Speaking to the difference in these lanes, Westbrook, 1,700 gold towards the Blink Dagger, getting close but still not quite there. Banana lingering nearby. Level 4, looks like the rest of his teammates will start to come in, tighten the noose around Westbrook. Phoenix on the way, but Light Strike Array off the mark. Westbrook, does he actually live here? Already used his Berserker's Call. And that's it. That's all it takes. He just walks away. Does not get punished for farming in the jungle. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Lifestealer will finish off a tower. That's 1 down. Still quite a few to go, but HGT still furthering their momentum here. What's on the courier? It's a Drum of Endurance to go with that Bracer. So no farming tool yet for ZSMJ, but going for these very early combative items and will now get some stats to his name. Buff up that mana pool a little bit. He is ready to fight if anyone on Newbee wants to square up. And it looks like Moo will venture his way over. Misses the first raise. Second one will connect, but now he says, hey, maybe I should just TP out. I don't think I really want to square up against the little dog here. And Drum of Endurance will be delivered. Man. Whoop. Lena does catch the axe in the jungle. Sorry about that. Looks like the Phoenix Egg does come through as well. So this time it works out. Supernova does clip Air. Now getting hit by the Fiery Spirits. Dragon Slave is there. Oh my, this could be a dead Sniper. Living Armor, not enough. Gets cut through by the DOTs, and they get a double set of kills there in the mid. June getting credit for that one. Now in the top lane, Rabbit will get his
Dire's
wounds
middle tower
opened,
is under attack.
but Spectral daggers into the tree line and will be able to make it out. Jeez. Still in the single digits. He's less than 1 last hit per minute right now. 9 as we move past the 10-minute mark. Okay, things looking a little bit better for Newbee. Looking at the graph, things stymied a little bit and have at least plateaued as they found a couple of pickoffs. Axe does get ganked right before he has the Blink Dagger, so that does slow down his timing here. Perfect time to try to find a kill. I like that Newbee have the right idea on that front, and they may try to go for it again down in the bottom lane here. Phoenix wraps around the side, doesn't have the egg this time, does have the Midas recipe though, and it will be a very early Midas for June. So far this Phoenix pick has worked out very nicely. 1-0-1, he's redeeming himself on the scorecard. Axe will get his Blink Dagger though, gets that little bit of space he needed just to finish it off. And now he will have the extended reach on that slam dunk at his disposal. Pretty Hall, he's been pretty quiet, maybe thinking about an urn here, as he's just trying to leech up to level 6. I still just can't believe how much space they're giving this Lifestealer. This is one hero that I mentioned has kind of fallen off because he needs so much space, and the more popular carries in this meta are the ones that can do a lot early on and still transition well into the late game. Sniper and Shadow Feed, 2 great examples. Pretty Hall will just get brought down to the mid. June gets another one up on the scoreboard as him and Song Shung hold the high ground here and pick him off as he ventures forward. Nicely done. Good positioning in the jungle as they continue to stay aggressive. But now Westbrook smoked up, goes in onto Moo, and Fest Bomb is there. Not a chance for your Shadow Feed. And down he goes. Another slam dunk and a big blood puddle on the ground. As more momentum goes the way of HGT, they'll stay grouped up and start to pressure this Tier 1 tower mid. ZSMJ on the front lines, the beginnings of an armlet for him. Here with that Helm of Iron Will already in tow. Supernova is available. Banana nearby does have a Laguna Blade. Rage now popped by the Lifestealer. Air doesn't have his Mask of Madness quite yet, but is a little bit far forward. Newbee will just linger nearby. No overreaction. But HGT not able to finish off that Tier 1 tower quite yet, though they do force out the Glyph. Kaka a little far forward here. There is a Sentry Ward down. They might be able to punish this. Nope. Tree is just fine. This is okay for Newbee, though. Right now, what they want is 4 Protect 1. If they can make a defense at Tier 1 towers and make a little bit of space for Rabbit to find any kind of CS, any farm he can get right now, they'll gladly take it. The road to recovery for him begins now. 25 CS, at least has phase boots. So with that Spectral Dagger, can try and make something happen, but Shadow Fiend falls again in the mid lane. Looks like Pretty Hall set it up with a Coconut, and Air is there with an Assassinate. This Shadow Fiend just getting picked on time and time again. Working on a mech, but the timing not looking so hot now that he's 0 and 3. Looking for the recipe, but still very far out. Here we go, Westbrook. Nature's guys here. We'll have the surprise inside once more. Can he find a gank with it? Mask of Madness now completed on Air. Uh-oh. Misses the Berserker's call, but still assassinates. Song Shung gets a fissure under the tower, still falls. Other side of the river, June will be nearby. He pings out ZSMJ. They may try to tighten the noose on this one. Maybe a Supernova from the high ground could have had a play there, but Westbrook lingering around. All 5 of HGT nearby. Very risky for the Phoenix. And they will end up just letting this tower go down. Sniper with his Mask of Madness on. Will snip at it. And there it goes. Reduced to rubble as Sniper gets the last hit. Now Moo, he's the one that tries to find recovery farm in the safe lane as Spectre goes to the off lane. Still no real item progression on Rabbit. 0, 0, and 0. I guess you could call that a minor victory that he hasn't conceded a death yet. But just still no progression. Maybe an Urn could be something he considers here. And Aquila, Banana, he's going to get assassinated here. Just wants to connect with the ulti, but he's going to die to shrapnel at this rate. He will. Oh, Banana, the assassinate doesn't even come through. There's not enough time for it. Just getting picked apart. Air having a great game on this Sniper. 2, 1, and 2. Tier 2 tower in the top lane does get pinged out. Looks like HGT just want to continue taking objectives for now. Looking at the net worth lead, I see no reason why not. 5K the net worth advantage and about 3K the experience edge. They'll continue pressing on. Overgrowth now available on the Treant. Looking at overall levels, that's becoming a disparity. The Earthshaker, the lowest level, only 4 right now, the only hero lacking its ultimate. And that's huge for HGT. Overgrowth and Death Ward, game-changing ultimates on these supports that basically turn them into different heroes, and now a lot of kill potential for this Radiant side. They will TP down bottom to make a defense. Surprise inside Westbrook again. And the full armlet is completed. Here we go. Blink, Berserker's Call on the move, but there is support on the backside. They want Westbrook. Laguna comes in. Now an egg. Oh boy, this could be disastrous for HGT, but no, they kill the Phoenix, and Kaka barely lives. Now Pretty Hot taking some damage. Dragon Slave will bring him down. It's a 2 for 2. The Treant barely lives. ZSMJ still pretty healthy. We see Rabbit wrapping around here. Will get assassinated as the courier flies overhead. Really wants to finish off this Treant, but now Rabbit may be in a bit of an awkward position here. Will just TP home and does live. The 2 for 2. But it's 2 cores on Newbee down for a core and support for HGT. That said, Newbee's far enough behind that an even 2 for 2 is not too bad. I think they'll take it. Who gets credit for the kills here? Axe gets the kill on Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend gets the counter kill on Axe with the Death Requiem. And it was Lina that managed to finish off the Witch Doctor. So really not too big a disparity there. Tier 1 tower is defended and stays standing. I think for the Spectre, that is definitely a victory. Now all of a sudden 1,000 gold sitting in the bank for her. And Rabbit will be happy to at least find a couple of assists in that fight.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Now the Tier 1 tower under some pressure on the Dire side in the bottom lane. ZSMJ in the front lines will have living armor on. If June could have gotten his ultimate off there, that would have been a totally different fight. Looks like he'll be the one to be the mech carrier and almost level 11. If that's a level 2 Supernova, I think that is a slightly different situation. Sniper, generally one of the better heroes to try and deal with the Supernova, as he does have Mask of Madness and Yasha, but if he gets caught by the Fire Spirits, that attack speed slow is certainly nothing to scoff at. Tier 1 tower does go down. Sniper again finding the last hit there. That's back-to-back tower kills for him, and he is nipping at the heels of this Lifestealer. 1 and 2 on the net worth chart, with only the Shadow Fiend kind of making a move in that direction. Actually, Shadow Fiend has a mech already. Newbee, oh my. Buckler on the Phoenix. Well, while I'm contemplating the possibility of 2 mechanisms, they get a pick off on the Spectre in the top lane. That'll be his first death this game. Looks like it was just the surprise inside. Sorry about that one, folks. Easy kill, though, when you've got your full combo available. Kaka scouting things out. Uh-oh, in the river. Pretty Haw and June going at it. Pretty Haw looks like he may concede a death here. Another kill for this Phoenix. 3-1 and 2 now. June having a much better showing on this hero than he did on the Void. Looks like we found his comfort zone. I still don't know what's going on with this Buckler. I mean, even if this is going to be a Crimson Guard, you don't really think of that as your go-to item on the Phoenix. I think a Shiva's would be great here. Against all this carry power, get yourself some slow so you can kite around the Lifestealer a bit. Get yourself some extra damage, and more importantly, that aura against the Sniper to try to slow down that attack speed. Not much that Buckler is going to yield. Here we go. Kill attempt on the Kaka. It's a 3-on-1. He will overgrowth, but Lina's there. Banana just gives him the Laguna Dragon Slave, and it'll be an easy pickoff. There's one thing trees don't like, it's fire. And Newbee certainly have a lot of that. Picante. Rabbit, still just nothing here. 1,200 gold, but lane ward down for the Dire side. They'll get plenty of vision on air, and there you go. There's your haunt. He does reality in, but ZSMJ with a big Berserker's Call. Supernova still goes off. Fissure to break it up. Will they crack the egg? They will. Phoenix will not find the stuns. Rabbit a little bit low, but survives for now. A 1-for-1 assassinate does get the kill on the Spectre. That tips the scales, and now it's Newbee on the back foot, just trying to make their retreat. Song Shung will be hanging out in the tree line nearby. Has an echo once Pretty Haw, but the Poodoo Restoration just a bit too much, and the Shaker will fall. Now Lina getting kited around here. Looks for a stun on ZSMJ, but can't quite juke it. It ends as a 1-for-4. Air continues his mega kill streak, and the aggressive play from Newbee ends up being a disaster. Another great net worth change for HGT, and their lead furthers that much more. These Supernovas just a little bit too YOLO. If only that egg could have gotten off, that would have been a huge team fight for the Dire side. Probably could have turned things around, but the only thing they have to synergize is that Fissure. It was well-timed from the Earthshaker. He stunned as soon as the Supernova started, helped break up the fight, but after that, they've got no way to force the auto attacks off the egg. They've got no one with the big stuns that can make it happen. Now in the mid, Westbrook jumps onto Moo. He does get the tower, but it costs him his life. And the ultimate question is displayed before Newbee, hashtag worth? And I think Moo might venture to say yes there. He did get the last hit on the tower, so that does give him a good bit of gold to his name. Nice aggressive ward comes down from the Witch Doctor. Pretty Hog getting some good vision for his team, and it will pay off as Banana walks into ZSMJ. Open wounds, make it an easy kill as he has the Rage available. Now on the other side of it, June jumped on by Pretty Haw. There's a Death Ward, the Coconut to get things started. The Berserker's Call locks him in place long enough to stop that Icarus dive from doing anything. Another series of kills for HGT, back-to-back positive team fights, and now they venture straight into the Roshan pit. Looking like they could upset Newbee here. It seemed on paper that Newbee might have the advantage coming into this best-of-3 series, but it's HGT in the final game that has control of this match. You look at these farms, and it's just the Shadow Fiend on Newbee. And all he has is a mech. 3,000 gold, could have a BKB coming out, but going mech BKB, that doesn't exactly give you a lot of scary damage. Moo's right clicks, not so potent right now, nor are the Spectres. 1,800 gold, I think he's trying to just pull up for a Radiance. But man, that's going to be a long time coming. Sniper getting very massive at this point, has a full SNY, 1,300 gold with the Aegis now, 6, 1, and 5. Air dominating the leaderboard right now. SNY probably coming out for ZSMJ, has the Sanj already. Westbrook, he's going to have a BKB coming out in about 400 gold, and this tier 2 in the bottom, it's likely to fall. I don't think Newbee really want to put up much of a fight here. Shrapnel to kind of cut the wave, and they're just going to let this baby go down. Air even tanking the tower for good measure.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So Phoenix, just a casual buckler, now moves into the Vitality booster. Probably a Rod of, well, I want to say it's going to be a Rod of Atos, but I think this is a Crimson Guard. Not really a great Crimson Guard game. We've talked a lot recently about how Crimson Guard does block more abilities than a lot of folks realized at first. Great item against Axe. He has some of those physical abilities that do get blocked, but Death Ward is not one of them. It does not block wards. And, I mean, it'll mitigate some damage from the right click to the Life Stealer, the Sniper. It's not a bad Crimson Guard game in a vacuum. It's just more not your ideal item on the Phoenix. And, speaking of the Phoenix, ZSMJ, he's invisible. Oh, Newbee, they're going to walk into a trap here. Westbrook blinks in, doesn't find the Berserker's Call, but he doesn't use it either. There's your ultimate from the Spectre. Overgrowth from Kaka connects on quite a few. The laser goes scooting around. The Icarus dive goes into the egg. They'll try to focus him down. They'll break the egg once more. The Phoenix, the first one to fall. And 2 TPs out from Newbee. Westbrook holds the taunt just a little bit too long. Didn't have vision, but also wasn't feeling so YOLO. And not so bad for Newbee. They could have been punished a lot more there. Berserker's Call saved at the end. And it's just a kill on the Phoenix through the egg. But still a good fight for HGT. That's all they need is just a singleton pickoff because they want objectives. Still 2 outer towers standing, and they will press into the tier 2 in the top. Still a lot of time left on the Aegis, about 2.5 minutes, so they can continue pressing forward. The battle will continue for the team where hearts get together. Air already starting to poke at this tower. Chip, 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 chip. There you go. Doing that chip damage. Spectre. Shadow Fiend jumped on again. This ganking duo is just so much. I thought it was Spectre getting jumped down bottom, but it was the Shadow Fiend, and Moo just can't find anywhere to farm. The Blink Call with the Infest Bomb, there's just no getting away from it. You can't run from the open wounds. It's a great duo. Now June, he doesn't have a Supernova here. Could get jumped on. Needs to be a little bit careful. Air, remember he has the Aegis. Rabbit will start to go in. 2,400 gold. Still no items up with the phase boots. Pretty Haw moves in. Death Ward. There you go. Follow up with the Overgrowth. Rabbit goes down. Aegis will get finished off as they jump on the sniper, but it's just an Aegis. Rabbit wants to set up on the air, gets the stun Laguna, but Lifestealer brings her down in just a couple of right clicks. Air is still pretty healthy, and that's it. Newbee have had enough. GG is called, and it's HGT that take the series. Slam dunk from Westbrook just to make it sting that much more and hurt my stats just a little bit extra as they finish off June. What a crazy series. But it is HGT that come out victorious. Would not have thought it's the Lifestealer play that makes it happen with an aggro try, but boy, oh boy, did it work out well. 4-0-7 on the Lifestealer. Perfect showing there. 6-1-8 on the Sniper. Pretty good showing as well, but it's really Rabbit that fell short this game. 0-3-3. That hurts. I mean, he just got nothing done. Had phase boots, stick, and quelling blade, and that's all. Throughout this entire game, nowhere to farm, and I guess this goes to show with an aggro try, you don't have to find kills if you're absolutely zoning out their carry so that he gets nothing. Very nicely done. An atypical strategy from HGT, but catches Newbee unaware. So, folks, that wraps up our first best of 3 this evening. We're going to have a break in about half an hour, I believe, 6 o'clock a.m. here on the Pacific Coast. We've got our next series coming up. It may actually be an hour break. Maybe it's 6:30. I've got to double-check my times. But we will have IG versus Vici Gaming Potential coming up next. So Vici Gaming Potential, they climbed their way out of Phase 1. IG, potential favorites to take the entirety of Phase 2. So it should be an interesting second series. Maybe a little bit one-sided. Get your bets in before it's too late. Should be good stuff. Probably going to come back to talk Vulcan during the break here after I check on the schedule. I'm Zyori, solo casting tonight. I'll have Cinderin joining me tomorrow for the 3rd day of China Phase 2. You are watching the Summit 3 presented by Gigabyte. Stick around because there's more Dota 2 action coming your way after this.
I was actually one of the first people to sign up on Vulcan. It's a chance to not only win money, but do it in a way that's like really exciting.
I entered in one $10 contest, was feeling, a little lucky that day, and actually I won $400.
When I tried out for the Caitlyn headshot one, that's only $10. I won $1,000.
The prize pool is up to $1 million.
Play on Vulcan, watch League, get paid.
Support this channel by checking out Vulcan.com. Use the invite code below.